name is Nathaniel Felix Bordeaux. Kota name is Ian Hokshila. And Stoneboy.
We live in the same area my ancestors did. Just a part of that line of being a Lakota person. Just continuing our traditions, our ideals, our way of life, you know. Our ancestors knew that we had to learn how to live with these people that were coming. You know, they knew we had to learn these ways, and so we have. We've learned these ways. And, you know, I mean, I'm talking English. That's a perfect example, you know. I don't know my own language. I wish I did.
My parents, my grandparents were all products of boarding schools. The boarding schools on the reservation was to get rid of the Indian out of us, you know, educate us till we could be good, productive members of society. Kill the Indian and save the man. It was a law.
I know I paid a price as a child, and I was sort of picked up and stuck into this place. It was a traumatic event for me, you know. I couldn't speak their language. I was away from my mother and father and my brothers and sisters. And so I began to learn there, and I didn't learn a lot of things that was going on at home, you know, a lot of the old ways and a lot of the old things, a lot of the old thinking.
A lot of these large resort developments are built in areas that are very sacred to Hawaiians and very often impact burial sites. Last year I was asked to do a blessing in Waikiki, and when I got there I found out that we were going to renovate the Waikiki beach. Now anytime you do, you're going to dig up a beach, you're going to hit some bones, yeah? Well, sure enough, they dug up 50 ancient burials, yeah? And now these burials are right in the middle of the road, yeah? We discovered that there's probably a cemetery, yeah? There are probably hundreds of burials under the main drag in Waikiki. Waikiki has been built on the bones of our ancestors is what it comes down to, yeah?
We'll not sail into Waikiki and find a wonderful surfing beach with little grass houses. It's massive high-rise hotels, tremendous traffic problems, unbelievable pollution in the ocean, huge ocean liners. No, the image is totally false.
A lot of us have done a lot of work trying to talk about the reality here in Hawaii, that all is not well in paradise, that our people suffer, even though we've got this industry that brings in billions of dollars, and this industry markets our people and our culture. Our people just are still suffering and landless, sick, least educated and all that.
Because the Hawaiian Islands were colonized by the United States, much of our culture disappeared over time due to the influence of Western technology, Western history, Western Christianity. The first thing that the Christians came in and told us that our hula was pagan and lascivious and vulgar, and that we shouldn't participate in activities related to hula. But hula has also been responsible for our genealogy, our history, and the records of our people for over hundreds of years.
We can do what our grandparents couldn't. My parents weren't allowed to speak Hawaiian in schools, but yet other immigrants would come to Hawaii. Japanese had Japanese school, Portuguese had Portuguese school. They were allowed to keep their culture and keep their language. They beat us out of who we were. They made us them, and now we know who we are, and we are not afraid to ask the questions our grandparents couldn't ask, to ask and hold accountable people, agencies, and government, and that's what gives us standing now as Hawaiians in our generation.
Look what we all went through. All indigenous people, look what we went through all these years, and we're still here. We're still here, and we're making it. We're gonna make a difference.